Hello, beautiful souls. How are you? I am bringing some amazing news to you. I hear all the time, when are we going to see something happen? When are we going to see it change? When is it going to get better? When is so and so going to wake up? If you're really into your ascension, you want it for other people, right? Because you yourself was able to realize all the benefits of having clear energy. You yourself was able to realize all the benefits of detaching from the matrix, the material world, the things that you gave your power away to, but really should have taken that power back to live a fuller, freer life. You want that for other people. It's natural. We got to restrain ourselves sometimes, though, right? Because it's your soul path and plan and contract is not like anyone else's. So we've had to sit back. We've had to continue to do our work on ourselves, allow that frequency to rise and to ripple through the collective. And if you remember back, some of the channelers, some of the ones energetically tuned in to what's happening on a energy level with the planet, there's always been talk about the collective consciousness. It needs to be raised. It needs to be at a certain level before significant transcendence in this dimension can occur. It needs to be at a certain level before all those people that you really desperately want to benefit from waking up can truly receive the message because it's a frequency disconnect, right? And so the collective rise and the frequency has been occurring, just like we have been saying for a very long time. The almost constant high solar energy that comes in, very frequent galactic energies come in to help with activations and healing of specific chakra areas. Um, all of this has helped the collective. So you don't have to dial up a video or do a meditation for these things that come in blasting the population to help you. And so, yeah, there's those of us that, put forth a great deal of effort. And this is our day-to-day life. This is what we choose to do now. This does not feel like work. This does not feel like a chore, but it's something we have given our heart, soul, and mind, body to. Then there's those that are just going about life. Day-to-day things really have not changed much for them, as it appears anyway. But energetically, at a frequency and vibration level, they are changing. They're waking up. They are understanding everything is not how it's been presented to us. There's a whole lot more out there. The truth is so much better than the lies. And they're starting to question. The collective is starting to question. Now, I saw something yesterday and it triggered me in a good way to go in and dig a little deeper. So, as I put on the slide in the front part of this video, the average collective consciousness level of the collective, which is all of Earth, as of last year, this time last year, was right around 250, 270. I gave it 270 because I want it to be as high as it can be. But I asked for a few specific time frames and I kept getting everything was from 250 to 270. So that was coming into an area of questioning and still lower vibrational, but up from what we were the year before, right? And so if we were still in the 270 range, we could see a shift in what the palpable energies are in the collective, but it's different. Have you noticed it? It's different. I personally try my very best not to get out with the peoples, because I do attract negative energy, and I just rather not deal with it if I can just stay in my bubble. Sorry, I hit the camera. If I could just stay in my bubble, that's what I prefer to do. Totally happy, doing my work via whatever platform I'm on at the time. But that being said, engaging in conversation or any kind of energetic exchange with beings that are out there in the day to day, there is a palpable shift of where things that could not even be mentioned 2 years ago are being posted about on all these different platforms, and people are speaking about it, and they're talking about it over coffee. And it is no longer taboo. And I have to celebrate that, because that is a major accomplishment. And that is a direct reflection of all the efforts and all the work that the light workers are doing on themselves, then allowing that frequency to ripple throughout the community, which allows things to rise as well. So people that are not in the know, you might say, are benefiting from things that are coming in from the galactics, from solar, from lunar, and also from what we're doing to help ourselves, which reverberates out into the community. So that's how, when you bebop down to the grocery store and you, with your big light, your big energy, pass by someone who might be waffling on not sure if they really believe in Source Creator, they're not sure what this world has to offer for them. Your big, beautiful, high frequency can shift them back into alignment with Source and give them a boost of love, a boost of self-love, a boost of resonance that, yes, I have a mission here on this planet and I need to just figure out what's my place. So that's how that works. Frequency is energy, energy vibration, that's power. We all have the ability to do this, to increase our power, our frequency, and our vibes, as long as we are in possession of a soul. I mention it all the time. I'm in process of putting out my first book, because the truth about energy bodies, the truth about souls, the truth about what we have dealt with on this planet in the lower dimension has to be told. It just has to be out there. So now brings me to this phenomenal, amazing news. We're getting energies, light codes, high frequencies, setting our intentions, holding space, doing our starseed missions, whatever that may be. It might be crystal work, it might be grids, it might be clearings, it might be tarot, it might be oracle, whatever it is. Keep doing it, because it's making an effort. I mean, it's making a distinctive effect on the collective. We are, as a people, as a collective people, all of the wayshowers, lightworkers, starseeds, we are transmuting so much negative energy that it just has nowhere to be. It just cannot be here with us anymore. And I love that. There's an orb in and around me. If you happen to see it fly around, no worries. So the collective consciousness frequency number as of right now, today, is 480. Please check in with your guides, verify it, confirm with your clear friends. I'm getting 480. I've confirmed it with my people. That is freaking amazeballs. So this is where we see on a collective scale, not just, Tin Hat Larry down the street. This is like in the collective. We're seeing a willingness to accept, fill in the blank. Willingness to accept truth doesn't look like what we thought it did. Willingness to accept the fact that we were taught lies. Willingness to accept that we have been manipulated our entire existence in this planet. So, willingness to accept. Huge improvement from those dogmatic, hard and fast, black and white people that are like, nope, if it's not in this category, that's black, and it's not in this category, that's white, I'm not giving it any attention. We're not there anymore. Inner light recognition. This is a characteristic of being in the frequency range of 480, that you realize that the light that sustains you comes from within. It does not come from outside of your being, and it comes from within, because as a soul being, you have direct connection to source creator light. This is a acknowledgement and knowing that the collective is understanding now. And why? Because we have been preaching it. We have been speaking the truth in whatever way possible since we figured it out, since it resonated with ourselves. What else? Stepping out of previous scenarios with purpose and meaning. So that means that you're realizing that your habits are just excuses of accepting bad behavior, basically. Okay. And when I say habits, I mean like if you habitually go down to this place on this day and time and you interact with these people, no matter what it is, and you come away feeling less than. You come away feeling like you brought a lot of good positive energy and they took it and you were left with vapors. So now you're understanding that you've been giving your power away to a bunch of energy vampires. And because you were in the habit of going down to, Tony's Pizza on Thursday, having all you can eat beer and pizza with your friends. But those beings, just like you, are different. They're different today than they were a year ago or 20 years ago. You're different today than you were a year ago, and definitely 20 years ago. We are all evolving, whether we are actively seeking the ascension or not. It is a planetary trajectory that we are on. So this is like one of those scenarios where you bought the ticket whenever you incarnated here and you're going to ride the ride. Like there's no getting off. It's going to be what it's supposed to be for you. So accepting that, understanding that there's an inner light and an inner knowing is a huge milestone compared to where we were, where everyone was living in a fear state. Everyone was completely chaotic and they just didn't know which end was up. They were in a frenzy, so much so that they believed the government was going to help them with everything. How'd that work out? How'd that work out for you? Okay, so the official in-between state is where we are. That's where we find ourselves. And I'll tell you that this is the biggest trial for me lately. We all have our things that we struggle with. And for me, it's the in-between. So I'm always envisioning my 5D life. I'm always tapping into my 5D self, and I'm checking in with my 5D self and my space self and all these other dimension selves. Because the one here, this dimension self, like I know what I have to do here. I have to keep speaking truth, keep making videos, keep helping clear energy, and just keep moving forward. I know that. And it's great, but it's not what I consider like the blissful life, right? It's not the 5D life. I encounter a lot of low vibrational things in this journey. I really would rather be done with. It's the in between that I struggle with. It's being in the now moment and being so completely grateful for everything that is provided for me. I have no issue with that, none. But it's catching myself from not spending too much time energetically in the fifth dimension and thus turning my back on this dimension. You have to be in the now and let it flow. Because the more you try to force something, the more it won't work. It's going to be out of your grasp. So being in the now, and I literally live in like a 24-hour window. If you ask anybody that knows me now, don't ask me what I'm doing a week from now. Waste of time. Don't ask me what I'm doing for 2 days from now. Waste of time. I literally never plan on being here the next day. But when I am, I just pick the pieces up and I keep moving forward. In between. Okay. So that's right there. Faith over fear. A little bit of courage, whole lot of faith. Staying grounded, staying in the now. Highly recommend doing that. So, what we're feeling now, the characteristics of the vibrations of these higher frequencies encompass releasing things you thought you had control over or releasing things that no longer serve you, developing trust, like legit trust, optimism, hopefulness, meaningful purpose. So you're no longer just a hamster on the hamster wheel on this negative information loop. You have jumped off that hamster wheel and you're putting your energy to good use for yourself, taking your power back. Merciful forgiveness. And this is an important topic. Forgiveness. There are still a lot of very vindictive people out there hiding behind the American flag with their MAGA hat on. I'm talking to you. Truly high consciousness beings, unity consciousness, Christ consciousness, all the things that are great and wonderful in the higher dimensions where we ascend to, have nothing to do with judging others, have nothing to do with wanting to see people hung in the street, have nothing to do with putting your finger in someone else's face and saying, I told you so. Those are all low vibrational characteristics tied to your ego and your mind. And I ask you now to please let that go. It is not your cross to bear. It was hard for me to do as well. So I'm not speaking out of turn. But when I realized all the growth and all the evolution that I had done, all the work that I had put into myself, I wanted people to see me for who and what I am now, not judging me on who and what I was before. In that sense of things, it helped me to release judgment. Judgment I thought I was entitled to have. I'm not. Neither are you. It is not for the collective people to judge others. That is not unity. That is division. If you want things to change, and I sincerely hope you do, then you have to be the change that you want to see in your community, in your world. If you want to see less division, stop sowing it. If you want to see more justice, stop being vengeful. If you want to see a lot of love and a lot of compassion, then you need to live from a heart space and show love and compassion to everyone. Everyone. So, Yeshua is really an amazing teacher. All of the Ascended Masters are. But I use Yeshua because people religious doctrine, I should say, likes to portray him as a on the pedestal, godly, no one can ever attain his abilities being. It's not true. He is a galactic being that had an earthly experience. As a spiritual body, he had plenty of abilities, of which he obtained by tapping into his own power, which you too can do. But I venture to say some of his best lessons had nothing to do with energy or power. It was from love. And he loved and he had compassion and has to this day compassion for beings that don't even have compassion for themselves. And he sees everyone with the potential to be great and wonderful and benevolent and unity consciousness beings. It is up to them. We are our own hurdles. So I ask you to get out of your way. Let that low vibrational stuff go. If you check out that vibration frequency graph and you look at the bottom, pain, fear, shame, blame, guilt, all the things that have been laid on so thickly by our world for a very long time, not just since 2020, for a very long time, has kept us in that low vibrational state. So we couldn't see the truth. We couldn't feel the truth. We didn't know the truth if it slapped us side to face. We were lost. Now the collective is risen. That is called ascension. An average number of 480 is so close to 500. We're going to be 500 by tomorrow, I bet. So, love, forgiveness, and gratitude. Those are the three main places we need to live in a heart space, in an energetic space. So if you don't know how to handle something, something's really ticking you off, something really seems unfair or very matrixy, LFG it. Love, forgiveness, and gratitude. You can use this in every scenario. And I will demonstrate. Let's say you're driving and it's 4 lanes. So there's technically a left lane for passing and a right lane for driving. And let's say someone's driving in the left lane and people are having to get in the right lane to pass. Doesn't that frustrate you? Doesn't that give you all sorts of other emotions that are not good? This is what I do. I say, I would love to invite you over to the right lane. And I forgive you for slowing us down, being in the left lane. But I would be so grateful if you find a spot in the right lane that you can drive it. LFG it. It's that easy. And let it go. There's no point in getting all upset about how someone else is driving because you don't control them. And you don't control their car and you don't pay their bills. So stop. We are only in control of ourselves. Sometimes. Now, how to trust again? Well, you got to do your shadow work. When you go through your shadow work and you're doing things, especially using the LFG model, you will find that you are able to work through the bad taste in your mouth from religion or healthcare or science or financial institutions, government, politics, whatever it is, you feel like you are having such a hard time forgiving or getting over or letting go. Shadow work. Love, forgiveness, and gratitude. Get down to the actual trigger of why you feel the way you feel about that thing or that person or that place and let it go. We as a people have held on to things for far too long that does us zero good. It actually causes us harm. Holding on to something that no longer serves you is a weight. It's lead. It weighs you down. How do you ascend if you're weighed down? You don't. It's not very complicated. It's actually very easy. Learn the lesson that whatever that trigger is trying to point you toward, there's always a lesson in there in the layers. LFG it, whatever the lesson is, and let it go and move on. When you do this, you're going to develop more self-confidence and love for yourself. because it feels good to do this. It feels good to be authentic. It feels good to be sovereign. It feels good to know that you took your power back and you did something really great with it. And you're not harboring any ill will. You're not keeping score. You don't have a tally sheet of all the good deeds you've done for other people that they didn't return. That's not what unity consciousness is. You're not doing things for the return of the investment. You're not doing things for the outcome. You're doing them because it's the right thing to do, period. People say, well, they ask me all the time, well, don't you have a job? And don't you have a stuff? No, I detached from all the stuff that was controlling me. I do have a job, but I answer to the Most High, Prime Source Creator. He's my boss. And I say that all the time, my boss. What's up, boss? We have a very good conversation many, many, many times where I start out with, what's my boss going to want me to do today? He's my party planner. He's my guide. That's what I do. And I give it all my energy, all my time. Makes me happy. It's my purpose. It's my mission. It's what I came here for. I don't regret a thing. You're not going to make me feel some type of way about pivoting on the healthcare industry. I'm very happy I did that. So people say, well, what is there to be hopeful about? I mean, look around. Well, this is where you got to let go of stuff that doesn't serve you. They are showing you what they want you to see, so you remain in those low vibrational fear states. So turn the TV off. I'm pretty sure your heart will still beat. Your lungs will still filter out carbon dioxide and pull in oxygen. Pretty sure your kidneys will still work and you'll still pee, probably poop. Life will go on without feeding the beast that is the mainstream media or the drama of politics. None of that really matters. It really doesn't. This is much, much bigger than that. We're talking about the elevation of a planet to transcend from lower dimension to higher dimension. This is beyond politics. This is beyond political party. This is beyond voting. This is beyond all of that. Those are only distractions. Keep you bogged down and feeling in a state of hopelessness. So when you go within and you remember that you have the light within and that your life can literally be what you choose for you, you don't let others make their choices for you. Well, that gets really fun, really fast. When you jump off the hamster wheel and you pick your eyes up over the horizon and you see what you've been missing all this time, that's when living starts happening. You elevate from surviving to thriving. Now, the consciousness, the spirituality of the collective is rising. They are realizing that all religion is man-made. None of it is divine. There's some bits and pieces in there that are some good guidance, but they are so corrupted and heavily manipulated in edits. I don't want to hear, well, this doesn't translate because it's in a different language. Okay, there's two definitions I want you to look up. Translation of a document and editing of a document. Translation means you translate word for word. You don't ad lib, you translate it. Editing is you can add, you can subtract, you can change, you can delete. The Bible has been edited lots of times, and it has nothing to do with translating from language to language. It's just adding more lies to support the narrative to keep us controlled. Wake up. You don't need a book. You don't need a church. You don't need a priest. You don't need any kind of clergy, any kind of robe or habit or none of that to have a conversation and a deep, deep spiritual connection to Source Creator. and your angels and your archangels and your guides. They are there for you if you get out of your own way. So there's a lot to be hopeful about. A lot. We have gone from 270 to 480 in roughly 12 months. That is a huge increase. Huge increase. And I'm so freaking proud of every one of you who have been standing in your truth, being authentic, saying, hey, you know what I used to think? And you know what I learned? And then I did it. And wow, does that feel better? I mean, like, just try it. What do you have to lose? Like, honestly, if you're feeling so hopeless and that there's nothing to put your energy toward, what do you have to lose? I don't know. So meaningful also means heart perspective guidance. So we as a people have done a really good job of walling off our heart. So we no longer feel anything. And that is a detriment to society because we have detached from feeling instead of detaching from the trauma. We're still involved in day-to-day trauma and we detach from feeling it so that we are not protected like we would be if we were heart-centered. So this is your homework for today. When's the last time you truly felt love in your heart space? Felt love, love that gripped you in a way that you had no doubts. 100%. Golden light, pink light, blue light, whatever light you love, exuded love. When's the last time? I hope it wasn't too long ago, but it could be. I found myself there where cognitively I loved people, I loved certain things. I sent love in a genuine intention, but I did not receive it ever for a very, very long time. Because when I allowed that to happen, it hurt too much. And so I stopped participating in that activity as a self-preservation. But that leads to not living. It leads to being almost automated and not genuine. So we want to be encountering life from a heart space. That means when you encounter someone and you feel yucky, you don't want to be around them. They make you feel bad. You honor that and you go the opposite direction. I don't care who they are. They could be your grandfather, it could be your brother, it could be your boss. I don't care who it is. You protect yourself. Your heart is going to help guide you. If you shut down communication between your heart and you shut down some of your guidance, and then you're wondering why you keep walking into fires. Well, it has nothing to do with your ego. People think you need to have your ego to survive. No, you need to be able to be in touch with your heart to survive. And the guidance that comes via your heart space and your soul. That's where truth lives, not your ego. So forgiveness, love, gratitude. Remember that if you take nothing from this video, remember love, forgiveness, and gratitude. You don't have to do it all in that order. Sometimes I have to really go to the forgiveness part before I can circle back to the love part and find the gratitude. But those three key components are very important in your shadow work and doing what you need to do for your best interest, for your highest and best good, to help you keep moving forward. That is the key. Understanding that as we change and as we keep going within, looking for guidance, and then spreading that information out in our frequency, so you can facilitate change. You can raise the frequency of your community, your family, anyone you interact with just by doing the work for yourself. You don't ever have to have a conversation. You never have to say the things that you don't know how to say. You never have to do that if you don't want to, but don't lie about it. Don't be inauthentic because that does not get rewarded. We are rewarded when we stand in our truth, when we understand how much work and time and energy it took us to get to this point, and we fucking own it. You're not going to take it from me. I'm not going to minimize it. I'm not going to make myself small again to make you feel better. I used to be a blah, blah, blah. Now I know who and what I am, and I know why I'm here. And I love myself again. Own it. Don't, don't bow down to people that expect you to be a certain thing on a certain day at a certain time because you've always been there for them. Hello, they tell you the truth. I need you. Well, really? Why do you need me? Because you're my ride or die. Why? Well, because we've always done it, right? I mean, like it feels good, doesn't it? Not for me. I'm realizing I don't really feel good after these interactions. I don't really feel like I'm being respected. I don't feel like there's some common ground. I don't feel like I'm being loved. I don't feel like this is good for me anymore. So you know what? I'm not going to do it anymore. Try that on for size. We grow when there's friction and we become uncomfortable. If you are not feeling friction and you're very, very comfortable, then you have not outgrown your space that you're in. That means you still have growing to do. Whenever you get to where you physically feel like you have outgrown your life and there's a lot of uncomfortableness, there's a lot of friction there, you have energetically outgrown the box that you've been put in. And it's time to ascend. It's time to transcend one dimension for the other. So we're all feeling that. That is in the in between, majorly. But it's not going to be forever. Everyone is ascending. Everyone is going in the general trajectory. It's a matter of who goes at what point, right? And you don't need to worry about everybody else. You just need to worry about yourself. I applaud every single one of you that have carried this torch, picked it up, ruffled feathers, triggered people. Because triggering happens whenever you need to do your shadow work. It's pinpoint in the map of your soul. It leads you right to where you need to do the work, and it allows you to truly evolve and grow and be the beautiful soul that you are already, that you just forgot. I hope you've enjoyed this message. Please celebrate. I hope it resonates with you. Understand that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a light inside you. And we are making a difference in the world for the collective. Raising the collective consciousness takes us from duality to unity. And we are doing a great job. So please, please keep up the good work. See you again next time.